Good morning everyone and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity, and we are up again today with more from Panalisa. Right, so today I'm going to be pulling from this lovely textural pack that I shared with you. It's got all kinds of stuff in it, beautiful textures. Look at that, nice pink snowy one. I'm going to save that one for Christmas. Yeah, I think it's just going to look awesome with the black and white of penguins and then some lovely pink snow going on behind them. So that's what I'm going to be doing with that one. But I've pulled a couple of sheets from this pack for today, and we're going to be using this die. This is a gift card bag which you can make independent on its own and turn it into a tag, or you can pop it onto a card, which is what I'm going to do. So this is what we're doing. And I'm also going to be using one of my my resin type seals. I'm going to use the For You, I think, and pop that onto the little doily piece that comes with it. So I've cut that in pink and white, and you can see we've got a theme going on here today, and it's all pink and white. So I've selected this piece, which is absolutely gorgeous. It really is beautiful paper. It's handmade. It's got gold and silver flecks in it, and that's going to be like the tissue paper that's going to go inside of my bag. And then I've done the handle in a pink foil, and I've also cut it in white so that it's a little bit more sturdy. So I'm going to glue those two together. And then for the bag, I've cut that in white cardstock and in that lovely bubbly tissue. Now what I'm going to be doing here is, I don't know if you can see that emboss. I'm pretty sure you can see the emboss under the holes if I move it into the light. There is an emboss line that goes underneath those holes, and I'm going to cut my paper off right the way across there so that I'll have a white scallop at the top of my bag, and I will go and put that on my guillotine in a second. And then for the base of my card, I've just gone pink and white. Right, I'm just going to pause while I go and chop the top off my pink bit. I'll be right back. Right, I'm back, and as you can see, I have chopped the top off my pink bit. So now I'm going to glue this down onto my white one. Just get rid of any fluff. I'm seeing fluff everywhere at the moment. I think it's because I've had all the windows and doors open, and we get a lot of dust around here. So I'm going to apply, I'm going to apply my glue along here, along the seam. I'm kind of worried about overdoing it, so I've gone quite wispy. And then we're going to pop this onto here. Just make sure that you've got it straight. Right, so I've now got my gift bag adorned with its tissue. I just think that's so pretty. Make sure that that's nice and dry, and then you can see you've got score lines along the bottom and along the sides, so I'm going to attempt to fold those. I always like to do everything with my fingers really gently first, and of course because this is a textured cardstock, I'm going along there. It can look a little bit wobbly, so we're going to go down with the bone folder in a second. And I'm going to have to do it really gently because I don't want to tear it. Because, you know, sometimes you get really nice gift bags that are all textural and made of all different sorts of stuff. Excuse my throat again. Right, we've got the bone folder. And I'm just gently doing that. I don't want to over push it at all. And of course, depending on what kind of cardstock you choose for your little gift card bag, is how much pressure you'll need to apply. So I've got that. I'm folding it in, and then I'm going to look at it. So there, I've got that lovely bit there. And that's quite nice. And it should, when you glue it down on your edges on your card, it should kind of like bow up just a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Now, the handle, if you were going to do it as the tag, would, you know, pop in here and it would be upright. But because I'm doing mine on a card, mine's going to be hanging down. So I'm just going to glue my handle to my handle. And just a little bit on here. I do love working with foils, but I tell you what I don't like. I don't like it when I get glue on them. So I love them, but they can be a pain. Right, now I just need to straighten that up. Give it a gentle squish. Right, I'm going to let that dry for a bit and I'll be right back. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is glue our handles into here. And you're just going to pop them through the holes. Put a little bit of glue on this side just to hold them in place. So I'm going there. Take my pin out of my glue bottle and I'm holding my handle so that it doesn't move, and I'm just lifting that up slightly. And that's Bo having a cry. That must mean that the mailman is outside. And a little bit of glue there. And I'm going to just squeeze those down and I will be right back. Right, so that's sufficiently dry, and if you flip it over, you've now got your little bag and the handle is hanging down. And there is space under there because this might slide under it. Right, so the next thing that I want to do before I stick it down on my base is do my little bit of tissue paper. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I really don't want to do it, but I'm going to have a little bit of tissue paper at the front, but I also want to put some at the back. Because of course then the gift card would go in between. So I'm just going to grab my scissors and I'm going to, I'm trying to think how I'm going to do this. Am I going to tear it or am I going to crunch it? Hang on, I'm just going to go and guillotine a couple of slices off. Right, so I've been and chopped off 2 slices and I've got a nice piece left, so I'm really happy about that. So I'm just going to put that over here, put it back on my pile of papers. Now, I'm just going to have to be brave. Imagine, you know, that you're kind of like tucking your gift in and, oh, yeah, it's such beautiful paper, I don't like to do it. But, you know, all in the name of art, isn't it, and creativity. Yeah. So we're going to kind of like have that in here. It's going to go a lot lower down than that. I'm trying to think if it should go like that. Just thinking about a gift wrapped. And I want it to remain within the borders, so I think I'm going to go a little bit lower down because I've got more to put in. And I'm just going to hold that with my finger. Pop the pin out of my glue again. I'm going to lift this up. And then I'm going to put glue all the way underneath. I'm going to hold this down. And I'll be right back. Okay, so that's dry. So I've kind of like, if I hold that up, I've got my first bit of tissue paper in my bag, and I'm just moving that stuff along because it's going to go onto here, and I need to know roughly where I'm going to put my next bit because that will be glued to the card. So I'm just going to scrunch it up. I'm going to put a few more pleats and things and be a bit more, you know, careful about this one than the last one. All I need to know is that it's going to fit behind that bag. So I roughly know that that is where that is going to go. So I'm just pushing that out of the way for a second, and I'm thinking about the height on here. And then that going over the top so that it looks like it's filled with lovely tissue paper. Right, I believe that I have that in the correct place. So I'm just going to pop the pin on my bottle of glue again, and I'm going to pull all that up. Run a bead of glue. I'm going to hold it there, and I will be right back. Right, and I have lifted my camera up so that you can see a little bit more, and then that's going to be the base layer before that layer gets glued onto it, so that it's nice and full of pretty tissue wrap. So we've folded these over, and we did bone fold them. So now all I need to do is put glue along those edges. So along the side, let me take my pin out. That's what I was saying, this pin is so tiny, I don't even know that it's there. So along the sides, and then along the bottom. And I'm going to stick this down, but I'm going to have to hold it, which means I'm going to vanish again for a few seconds. But because of wonderful technology, I'll be right back, won't I? Right, so I'm going to go there, and I believe that I'm in the middle. I want to know that I'm straight. I'm tucking my sides right under, and then squish them flat. Just want to show you what's entailed. Right, I am going to hold all of this, and I will be right back. Okay, so I think that's as glued as I'm going to get it. And I cut this little card out, which is actually an ATC, and you can see it'll pop down and it'll go in between your tissue papers, so you can have it just at an angle so that they know that there's something in there. Whether it's just a sentiment or a gift card, it's entirely up to you. And they can see that there's something there that can be pulled out and removed, and you've got your pretty tissue back and front there. I'm just gonna, because I'm playing around. And then the next thing is this. Now, rather than stamp a sentiment, I'm actually going to make this have oh, there we go, I've got my Dollar Tree foam. So I'm going to pop hopefully 2 of these on here. Yep, they fit. I'm going to take the backs off, and then I want to put that I want to make sure that this is in the center. There we go. So that's nice and central, and I'm using one of these seals that I hauled quite a while ago, and I can be guilty of hoarding things that I love and not using them, so I'm just trying to find out how this opens. Yeah. I'll be sitting here till Christmas trying to find out how it opens. Oh dearie me. I found it. Yeah, it was at the top. So I'm going to go for this one that just says "for you." And of course they're stickers, which makes it super easy and nice. And I'm just going to pop that there. I've got a bunch of glue on my fingers that just came off. So I'm now going to glue that down here, just at a nice little angle off on the bottom there. So just a nice little swirly twirl of glue And it does say for you. Make sure it's straight. I'll hold that a second and I'll be right back. And there we have it. Isn't that a nice little finishing touch? You've got that little splash of speckled foil in that one, which kind of matches the tissue in the bag. Really love that. And you've got your double layer so that you can put that in and make it look really nice. Obviously you can add a different sentiment on there if you wanted to, but I was just trying to be quick and easy. So that is what I have for you today. I'm trying to think what I'm going to be up with tomorrow. I might be up with something a little bit different tomorrow. I haven't decided yet. But I do thank you so much for joining me. As usual, all links are below. And do have an awesome day. Bye.